safe. But here's what he says, all right? O'Neill writes this. He says, this is on the first page. I think it's the second paragraph. He says, vapor lock is a phenomenon that can occur when fuel in the supply lines turns to vapor. So you've got liquid fuel. Remember I mentioned that earlier? It can vaporize. Water can vaporize. When it gets to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, it turns into steam. It vaporizes. Fuel can do the same. It doesn't have to get nearly that hot, by the way. This ends up preventing the fuel pump from being able to deliver liquid fuel to the engine. So a lot of you are going to say, yeah, but those engines, those boost pumps are so strong and they provide boosted fuel to those engines. There's no way this could ever happen. All right, you probably want to give this a little p possibility. This guy is saying that even if the fuel pump is there, once the fuel itself vaporizes, doesn't make any difference how big a pump you have. You're trying to push vapor, not liquid fuel. That's the whole point. All right. Can this happen? Yeah. Did it happen? Again, this whole thing is 100 billion to 1, but just hang with me on this because you guys asked, you wanted an explanation of vapor lock. The next thing he says on the next page is this. I think it's bullet point number 2. This issue is more likely to happen in warm weather. That's important. Or at high altitude. He doesn't say and high altitude, he says or high altitude because of the reduced air pressure and increased fuel volatility. Now, there are a number of different types of fuels that you can put in airplanes. There is avgas, which is a gasoline type fuel. That's primarily for small airplanes, but it's very much like gasoline. And then there's jet fuel, and there's a whole bunch of different jet fuels. There's Jet A, Jet B, JP4, JP5. There's a whole bunch. That's more of a kerosene type fuel. One fuel, gasoline, has a higher flash point than kerosene does, but all fuel can vaporize given the right set of circumstances. So none of these are excluded from the realm of possibility. He goes on to say he's under what is vapor lock under the results. He says hard starts, failed starts, or even engine failure in extreme cases. So vapor lock can cause engine failure in extreme cases. And this case we're looking at in India is extreme. It falls into that category. This is why vapor lock is a big concern for pilots operating in hot weather or at high altitude. He goes on at the bottom, the next page to say, why does vapor lock happen? He's got 5 bullet points. Engine heat after shutdown. So maybe if there was a quick turnaround and the engines didn't cool down sufficiently enough, that could have been a contributing factor. Number 2, high ambient temperature. I've seen some METAR lines the day of the accident that said it was 43 degrees Celsius. That's almost 110 degrees Fahrenheit. On my airplane, there is a max fuel temperature, and that's 49 degrees Celsius. I can't operate that airplane if I get close to that 49 degrees Celsius. Why?